Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 298 based on novel. So let's start. Powerful cultivators like this old woman were well aware of Wu Ching's departure. Aside from Wu Ching's fame, it was more related to his identity. He was, after all, an elder of the rank 6 Devil Collection sect. His departure naturally caught the attention of many old monsters, especially those who guessed why he was leaving. In the eastern part of the main city of Penglai, Master Ashen Pine sat in the room where the trade happened. He held a jade in his hand and was filled with uncertainty. If I go there again with this many celestial jades, I will definitely succeed. He took a deep breath and was about to go over his plan once more when his head suddenly jerked up. It was as if his eyes could penetrate the room and see Wu Ching flying through the sky outside. Although Wu Ching is at the Nirvana Shatterer stage now, not only has his greed not decreased, it has actually increased. What's even better is that while he thinks of himself as a schemer, he is actually just a very conceited man. I invited him to participate because I heard there was some friction between his Devil Collection sect and Lu Zhihao, and I wanted to see if I could cause a dispute. Since he is chasing Lu Zhihao, this Lu Zhihao will without a doubt die. Forget it. Since I did trade with him, I won't let his origin crystals fall into someone else's hands. Master Ashen Pine revealed a grim smile as his divine sense shot out and closely followed Wu Ching. In the 4th floor of a restaurant in the main city sat a man and a woman. The man wore white, and the woman opposite of him was a beautiful young woman. Her flower dress made her face even more beautiful. The two of them looked at the distance at the same time. The beautiful young woman sighed and shook her head. That little guy hasn't cultivated for long enough. He easily revealed his treasure and caused a fatal calamity on himself. What a pity. The white-clothed scholar pondered a bit and revealed a strange look, then he smiled. I don't think so. Although that little guy's cultivation level is below Wu Ching's and he clearly knew that Wu Ching was after him, he still dared to exit the main city. He must have something planned. Oh. This little woman doesn't agree. It seems the little one was frightened and wanted to leave early. I didn't think Wu Ching would disregard his own identity and pursue him. The beautiful woman chuckled and looked at the scholar in white. We'll know the result when we see it. The scholar smiled as their divine senses spread out toward Wu Ching. There was an old man with face filled with scars walking slowly through the street with his hand behind his back. He was looking around at the surrounding buildings and was filled with reminiscence. If it wasn't for Master Ashen Pine continuing to invite me, I fear I would have never stepped on Penglai again. He let out a sigh as he looked into the distance and his eyes lit up. What a good example of the big bullying the strong and the strong preying on the weak. He's blatantly trying to kill someone for their treasures. The old man laughed as he appeared on a rooftop and sat down. His divine sense spread out and he looked lively. In the inn of a smaller city away from the main city sat a skinny old man in black with 2 balls in his hands. He was standing next to the window as he looked at the bright sky. His divine sense had spread out far. I let that Wu Ching get ahead. Unfortunate. All the old monsters that participated in Master Ashen Pine's auction thought Wang Lin would without a doubt die. All aside from the scholar in white. Even though the scholar was a bit skeptical, in his heart he knew that Nirvana Cleanser cultivators had no chance of surviving a battle against a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. Not only them, but some other Nirvana Shatterer cultivators in the city were alerted by Wu Ching's departure, and their divine senses spread out. One of them was Tang Lihai. Tang Lihai was sitting inside his room and suddenly opened his eyes from his cultivation. He frowned and hesitated a bit before letting out a sigh, but he didn't try to stop Wu Ching. Sir once said not to provoke that person. Wu Ching, Wu Ching, why must you be like this? A middle-aged man was sitting next to the table in the room beside Tang Lihai. He held a wine cup in his hand and had just swallowed a mouthful. However, he suddenly raised his head and coldly looked at the distance. Wu Ching, you're reckless. After hesitating for a bit, the middle-aged man charged off into the distance. There were also powerful cultivators of various factions who didn't spread out their divine senses. However, after noticing all these old monsters spreading out their divine senses, They were surprised and also began to observe. At this moment, an undercurrent began to move because of Wu Ching's departure. No one could predict what would happen next. They will all be shocked and his name will become something they won't be able to forget. He will climb higher and higher. The battle at Peng Lai will be where he displays his power to the Cloud Sea. Li Qianmai wasn't in an inn in the city on the eastern part of Peng Lai and instead was at a towering peak. As she sat there, the powerful wind caused her hair to flutter. Her eyes shined brightly as she silently looked west. Wang Lin moved like lightning. After he left the city, he charged straight for the plain to the west. Another shadow followed closely behind at him at an even faster speed. The two of them were flying one after the other and got closer and closer. At this moment, they arrived at the boundary between the western and eastern parts of Peng Lai. It was a plain filled with rocks, a very good place to kill. Not only did Wang Lin need to win, he needed to win this fight clearly, fairly, and fast. Only then would this deter the other cultivators on Peng Lai and make them aware that he, Wang Lin, couldn't be provoked. If this was it, it wouldn't display Wang Lin's intent. Not only was he going to kill Wu Ching, he was going to make it so the people of the Devil Collection sect wouldn't dare to attack or get revenge. He had to make them fear and make them worry. Before he learned about the Rank 9 region, he was a bit worried, but after learning about it from Li Qianmai, all his worries were gone. Wang Lin's feet suddenly stopped and he slowly turned around. He looked at Wu Qing's figure that was charging at him like a violent gust of wind. Wu Qing's eyes were filled with killing intent, he didn't even try to hide it. Seeing that Wang Lin was no longer escaping, he waved his right hand and immediately attacked at full power without holding back. He activated his early-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivation and a giant mountain appeared before him. As he waved his hand, this mountain smashed toward Wang Lin. "Junior, don't blame me for being cruel. You hurt a junior of my Devil Collection sect, so you must be prepared to be killed. Today this old man will destroy your body and use your origin soul to refine a pill." Wang Lin's expression was cold as he stared at the mountain closing in at him. When it was 5 feet away from him, he raised his right hand and threw a punch. This fist and the mountain collided with a heaven-shattering bang. An earth-shattering crackling sound echoed and the mountain unexpectedly collapsed. Wang Lin withdrew his right hand and shook his head. Too weak. Wu Ching was startled and his expression changed. Without hesitation, his hands formed a seal and a black wind and a white wind appeared around him. The two winds charged into the sky and collided to form a grey vortex. "Power to uproot the heavens," Wu Ching shouted, then he pushed his hand forward. The vortex suddenly began to swell and all the origin energy within 5,000 kilometers began to get sucked into it. The vortex seemed to cover the sky as it descended on Wang Lin. Wu Qing's mind trembled violently. The scene of Wang Lin shattering that mountain with a punch still echoed in his mind. His right hand reached at the void to open his storage space and was about to take out a treasure. Just at this instant, Wang Lin suddenly opened his eyes. They were filled with monstrous coldness and killing intent. He had been waiting for this moment. "Wu Ching, your death has arrived." Wang Lin's voice was like the cold wind as it echoed around the area. When it landed in Wu Qing's ears, it caused him to feel a chill. Just at this moment, Wang Lin stepped forward and his right palm pushed forward. This strike caused all the origin energy with 5,000 kilometers to become chaotic, and at the same time, Wang Lin quickly pointed at the back of his right hand with 2 fingers from his left hand. All the origin energy within tens of thousands of kilometers suddenly gathered under Wang Lin's control. This majestic origin energy gathered at Wang Lin's fingertips and went into his right hand. It turned into an unimaginable force that shot out toward the vortex. The 2 spells quickly closed in and collided, causing a heaven-shaking sound that echoed across a portion of Peng Lai. Wang Lin's left hand didn't stop and once again pointed at the back of his right hand. The second time it landed, all the origin energy from within 50,000 kilometers rushed in like crazy and entered the vortex Wu Qing's spell had made. This didn't end here. Wang Lin casually withdrew his left hand. Then, as if he was reaching for the sky, he formed the 3rd finger. This time, all the origin energy from Peng Lai seemed to have started boiling and gathered in Wang Lin's right hand. It formed a destructive aura and charged at the vortex. The vortex trembled and instantly collapsed. A powerful shockwave spread in all directions and kicked up dust everywhere. Countless rocks were sent flying, and they all exploded into dust under this shockwave. Endless dust covered the world. Without his original body, Wang Lin could kill an early-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. Now he had his original body, and it was much stronger than before. The power of his body was unimaginable, and along with the power of an ancient god, his ability to kill had increased greatly. After the three fingers landed, Wang Lin's right hand slammed down and his origin energy crashed down toward Wu Ching. Wu Qing's pupils contracted. At this moment of life and death, he didn't even have time to feel regret. Treasures quickly flew out from Wu Qing's storage space to stop this force. However, Wang Lin had learned this spell from Master Lufu. Although he hadn't learned its essence, with Master Lufu's cultivation level, the power of this spell was something even the former celestial emperors had to be wary of. How could Wu Qing's treasures stop a spell this powerful? Wu Ching wasn't qualified to have a treasure that could stop this spell. He was not worthy of having such qualifications. A thunderous rumble echoed and all of Wu Qing's treasures exploded, then the black palm landed on his chest. His clothes were torn to pieces and he coughed out blood. He then retreated with a pale face, completely shocked. "You're not a Nirvana cleanser cultivator." Wu Qing's heretical voice could be heard. "Wu Qing, I won't send you off." Wang Lin closed his eyes and lifted his right hand once more. The huge palm print from the Rain Celestial Realm appeared in his mind. The print grew until it replaced everything. He first gained an understanding of this technique back in the Rain Celestial Realm. He had used it without truly understanding it and forced the genius Red Butterfly to retreat. In the Demon Spirit Land, he comprehended the technique again and revealed its potential, shocking Demon General Molihai. The second time he went to the Demon Spirit Land, the palm print shook the heavens and destroyed the 8th floor of the Celestial Cave, shocking Ling Tianhu greatly. In the Alliance, in order to stop the members of the Purple Dao sect from the Cloud Sea from escaping, he used this technique once more and killed everyone in sight. It was at that moment that Wang Lin learned the name of this spell. War Spirit Print. Rank 9 God Sect War Spirit Print. All these thoughts immediately appeared one after another in his mind, from his comprehension to the 4 times he had used it. All these things swirled in his mind until they all collapsed, leaving behind just the handprint. This palm print was filled with unimaginable might that turned into a will that entered his right hand and was shot forward. This palm caused the world to change colors and a rumble to echo. All the dust in the area was being pushed aside as if a storm was sweeping by. The will contained within this palm was the aura of one that stood above even the heavens. A giant palm that covered the heavens and earth appeared before Wang Lin and pressed down with unimaginable pressure. This palm was like the heavens. Beneath it, Wu Qing was like an ant. The moment this palm appeared, the divine sense of all the old monsters trembled and all of Peng Lai was terrified. War Spirit Print. Rank 9 God Sects War Spirit Preying. Wu Qing was completely stunned, and a never-before-seen sense of despair filled his body. Even though he was a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator, the pressure of the War Spirit Print still made him feel like the world was collapsing. What was even more shocking was that the legendary War Spirit Print from the God Sect had appeared before him. In his mind, this wasn't just the War Spirit Print, but the entire God Sect. He let out a scream and began to retreat like crazy. The fear in his eyes drowned his mind. At this moment, he didn't care about how his mind was seriously injured and his body was about to collapse, he only wanted to escape. However, he couldn't escape as the palm continued to grow until it filled his vision. In almost an instant, the palm hit Wu Qing, and the entire earth trembled. Wu Qing's body exploded into a mist of blood. His origin soul escaped and was swept by the palm before he could escape. Like a solitary boat in the violent ocean, his origin soul dissipated. The elder of the Devil Collection sect, Wu Qing, died. Even at the moment of his death, he was filled with fear and confusion along with deep regret. The moment Wu Qing died, Wang Lin stepped forward to where Wu Qing had opened his storage space. Only a short period of time had passed since Wu Qing had arrived and was killed. Although it wasn't an instant kill, It was very clean. Wu Ching's storage space didn't even have time to close. Now that he had died, his mark on the storage space was gone and it was rapidly closing. Right before it closed, Wang Lin's right hand reached inside and mercilessly took everything away. This was a method he had thought of to take stuff from the storage space of cultivators above the Nirvana cleanser stage. Kill the other party the moment they open their storage space. This will give you a moment to take their things. At this moment, the palm hadn't dissipated. It was moving forward in an even more crazed manner. It moved forward with an irresistible force and caused earth-shattering rumbles as it scraped across the ground. All of Peng Lai trembled as if it was going to collapse as the palm swept across the surface. As the palm continued to move forward, endless origin energy gathered. This palm that pierced the sky caused all the clouds to shatter and countless cracks appeared in the sky. A thunderous rumble echoed over Peng Lai. It seemed to be welcoming the reappearance of the war spirit print. The palm moved faster and faster and absorbed even more origin energy. Soon, it broke free from Wang Lin's control. Wang Lin simply withdrew his divine sense and allowed it to move forward as it wished. The ground trembled even more violently and the speed of the palm reached a peak. It was no slower than a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. In the blink of an eye, it flew toward the floating cities on the eastern side of Peng Lai. This scene was simply too shocking, and all the cultivators on Peng Lai were startled. Seeing the palm charging at them from the distance, they all flew out from the cities. In an instant, the palm closed in and collided with one of the floating stones. The stone immediately collapsed and the city on it completely was disintegrated. It wasn't able to stop the palm from moving forward at all. As the palm passed, endless rumbles echoed and more than 10 of the stones on the right side collapsed. The palm passed by the right side of the main city in the center, causing the entire stone to be pushed slightly to the left. An earth-shaking sound replaced everything in the world. The palm penetrated the eastern part of the main city and shot off into the void. It was as if something was battling the heavens. One palm to pierce the heavens. It broke through the protective barrier of Peng Lai and went into space. Large amounts of fog entered the palm, causing its power to increase greatly. There was a wild continent not far from Peng Lai. It was a forbidden land of the treasured Jade sect, and they didn't allow any outside cultivators to step on it. The palm was heading straight for it. In just a moment, the palm absorbed endless fog and turned into a huge palm with no end in sight. It looked like a palm from an ancient god when it landed on the wild continent. Rumble, 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 rumble. Unimaginable fluctuations came from the starry sky. The wild continent trembled violently as it fragmented into countless large pieces and collapsed. The palm dissipated. Wang Lin was shocked. He didn't think the palm would have such power once it was out of his control. He vaguely guessed that the palm print in the Rain Celestial Realm had appeared like this as well. In the distance, the middle-aged man from the Devil Collection sect stared at all of this and gasped. His eyes were filled with disbelief, and Wang Lin had caused a terrifying storm to set off in his heart. This is the war spirit print. This person's identity. His face was pale and he was in shock. The fear in his mind made it so it was impossible to even think of getting revenge for Wu Ching. At the same time, all the cultivators on Peng Lai were shocked, especially the old monsters that had their divine senses around the area and saw this. They were all stunned. Master Ashen Pine's eyes widened and he crushed the jade in his hand as he stared straight ahead. His mind trembled and his face was pale as he subconsciously licked his lips. He. Who the hell is he? The scholar in white and the beautiful woman also left the restaurant when the giant palm print swept by. Half of the city was destroyed. The beautiful woman was completely pale and her pupils shrank. Her mind was shaken and she was completely speechless. She had just called Wang Lin a little cultivator, but her heart was now filled with endless disbelief and a deep chill. Killing Wu Ching and using the war spirit print. This person can't be provoked. The scholar in white gasped, but his eyes shined brightly. However, the light wasn't able to cover up the shock in his mind. Not far away, the old man filled with scars was frozen in place. He still couldn't believe what had just happened. I didn't think he was someone from the God sect. The war spirit print is too scary. The withered elder in black was the most fortunate. At this moment, the two balls in his hand had stopped turning. His face was pale as cold sweat dripped from his forehead and he took a deep breath. Fortunately, Wu Ching attacked first, otherwise, I would be the one to die. The Devil Collection sect will soon be wiped out for daring to provoke someone from the God sect. There was also the old woman in green that had sold Wang Lin the star map. Her eyes lit up and she frowned as she suppressed the shock in her heart. She looked at the ruins left by the palm print, but no one knew what she was thinking. The one that was most shocked was Tang Lihai. His lips were dry and he was completely frightened. If he were to face Wang Lin again, he wouldn't be as calm as he was before. Every single early-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivator would feel extreme fear toward someone that could kill an early-stage Nirvana Shatterer so quickly. In addition to them, the cultivators from various sects and old monsters that were here for the auction, especially those that saw the battle, all looked toward the west with complicated gazes. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he patted the dust off his clothes. He walked forward, and not far before him was the pale, middle-aged man that was hiding at the inn. "You're late." The middle-aged man's face was pale and he revealed a bitter expression as he looked at Wang Lin walking closer. He pondered a bit and clasped his hands. Devil Collection sect's Shang-Chi greets fellow cultivator. Wang Lin didn't speak and coldly looked at the middle-aged man before him. This person was at the mid-stage of Nirvana Shatterer. Wang Lin had always wondered if he could battle mid-stage Nirvana Shatterer after he fused with his original body. The middle-aged man's expression became even more bitter. He let out a sigh and clasped his hands again. 2 days ago, Wu Ching was expelled from the Devil Collection sect. His words and actions were his own without any connection to the Devil Collection sect. He dared to provoke your excellency from the God sect. It is his own fault that he died. Wang Lin still didn't speak and his gaze was still cold. The more he acted like this, the more he fit the identity of someone from the God sect, someone who arrogantly looked down at the world. A mere rank 6 sect was insignificant in the eyes of a member of the God sect. The middle-aged man let out a bitter smile. He clenched his teeth and his right hand reached at the void. A crack to his storage space opened and bottles of pill flew out. There were 7 bottles in total. These all contain rank 7 soul-parting death pills. A total of 46 pills. Wang Lin's eyes were still cold. The middle-aged man pondered for a moment, then he reached out again and took out a pill bottle. There are 9 rank 8 soul-parting death pills. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but he gave off a sense of majesty as he slowly said, "I won't pursue Wu Qing's offense toward me anymore, but this is not enough to clear your Devil Collection sect's offense toward me." This majesty was not something an ordinary cultivator could have. Even a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator wouldn't have this unless they were the leader of a powerful sect. Wang Lin was once the divine emperor of the Vermilion Bird Divine sect. He didn't need to force it, just thinking about the Vermilion Bird Divine sect enabled him to naturally display this majesty. The middle-aged man let out a wry smile and took out 2 more bottles of pills. He looked at Wang Lin and bitterly said, 2 rank 10 pills. This is my limit. Wang Lin calmly said, Wu Ching spent tens of thousands of celestial jades to make it difficult for me to get a treasure. The middle-aged man didn't speak. He took out a bag from his storage space. Without looking at the bag, Wang Lin took everything and nodded at the middle-aged man. He turned into a ray of light and flew toward an inn in a city on the east side of Penglai. It wasn't until Wang Lin left that the middle-aged man's expression became ugly. The rage inside him was almost monstrous. Wu Ching, I told you not to provoke this person, but you didn't listen. You deserved to die. However, you implicated the Devil Collection sect. This person was unexpectedly someone from the God sect. On the top of a mountain peak on the east of Penglai, Li Qianmei's eyes revealed a strange light. After silently pondering for a long time, she softly muttered, God sect. It has been many years since the people of the God sect left the rank 9 region. Only the very core disciples can use the war spirit print. How could they be allowed to leave the God sect so easily? It was that person's first palm that was very strange. I don't know what spell is tyrannical enough to control the origin energy like that. It almost felt like a slave imprint. Wang Lin didn't move very fast as he flew across the sky and returned to the east side of Penglai. He immediately saw the half-ruined city and the countless cultivators flying in the sky. These cultivators all had complicated expressions when Wang Lin's arrived, and they all stepped aside. They all looked at Wang Lin with a hint of fear. None of the cultivators that had come here were weak, and what had just happened had shaken them greatly. That giant palm was very surprising. In the Cloud Sea, almost everyone knew that that easily distinguishable palm was the God Sect's #1 spell, the War Spirit print. Even those that were skeptical were no longer suspicious after seeing the might of that palm. Among the cultivators from the rank 6 sects, their elders all came out to greet Wang Lin. Master Ashen Pine looked at Wang Lin from afar with a smile to cover his shock. He seemed like he wanted to talk. Wang Lin's expression was calm, but he sneered in his heart. He clasped his hands as a polite response as he moved through the crowd and returned to his inn. In the cultivation world, the strong were respected. Wang Lin had revealed that he could easily kill an early-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivator and could use the War Spirit print. Now no one in the rank 5 region would dare to provoke him. Even the treasured Jade sect didn't dare to blame him for destroying half the city. After returning to the inn, Wang Lin counted this harvest. On top of what the middle-aged man had given him, there was the myriad of items from Wu Ching's storage space. After looking at everything, Wang Lin took out the red feather. Holding the feather in his hand, a flame appeared in his left eye. The flame flickered and seemed to resonate with the fire origin energy inside the feather. If I can undergo my 3rd vermilion bird awakening, I will become even stronger. Unfortunately, this one feather isn't enough. The feather in his hand immediately turned into a flame that looked like a vermilion bird. It flew from his hand and circled him as if it was very happy. Finally, it entered into Wang Lin's left eye and disappeared. The moment the vermilion bird entered his left eye, a sea of flames appeared around him. However, the flames didn't destroy anything in the inn but instead burned the void. After a long time, these flames were absorbed into his body. Wang Lin took a deep breath and began to ponder. After killing Wu Ching and using the name of the God Sect, there should be no one on Penglai who would dare to have any ideas about me. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. So it's time to start the harvest. During the next few days, the rank 6 sects all came to visit, and the old monsters from Master Ashenpine's party came to visit as well. Wang Lin calmly received them all. None of the visitors came empty-handed, and they were all very respectful. Although they were still doubtful of Wang Lin's identity, it was impossible to verify it. Only the people of the God Sect would know if Wang Lin was real or fake. If he was fake, it would be fine because then at most they would lose some gifts. However, if he was real, then having a good relationship with him was the dream of any sect. On this day, he sent away the cultivators from the Dao spell sect, and the old man in black who had the feather came to visit. This old man didn't talk about what happened before at all and looked calm. He feared Wang Lin in his heart. After all, Wu Ching was easily killed by Wang Lin, and he was also at the early stage of Nirvana Shatterer, so it was natural to be extremely cautious. After exchanging pleasantries, the old man clasped his hands. Fellow cultivator Lu, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Duda. I have no sect and am just a rogue cultivator in the rank 6 region. It's an honor to meet fellow cultivator Lu here at Penglai. Wang Lin smiled and slowly said, fellow cultivator Du is as free as the clouds without any sect holding you down. I'm envious. The old man in black wryly smiled and shook his head. This old man likes peace and quiet, so I didn't enter any sect. I only came to Penglai because an old friend invited me. After the big auction in 2 days, I'll leave. If fellow cultivator comes to the rank 6 region in the future, you can come and visit my cave. Wang Lin nodded. He looked at the old man in black and pondered for a moment. This old man in black's cultivation had already reached this point, so he was naturally very aware. If fellow cultivator Lu wants to say something, then there is no harm in just saying it. Wang Lin looked at the old man in black and slowly said, I wonder where fellow cultivator Du got that vermilion bird feather. The old man in black pondered a bit and said, I obtained it from a wild continent in the rank 6 region. Outsiders don't know about it and I only found it by accident. All the fierce beasts there are good with fire and it is a dangerous place, so I didn't venture far in. After he finished speaking, he took out a jade and his divine sense went inside before handing it to Wang Lin. If fellow cultivator Lu is interested, you may check it out. However, don't go in too deep. According to my observations, there is a rank 11 fierce beast there. Wang Lin took the jade and scanned it with his divine sense. He then clasped his hands at the old man in black. They talked for a bit more before the old man in black left. Over the past 2 days, Wang Lin had subtly spread out the news that he was looking to buy star maps. Soon, people began to buy star maps, and in just 2 days, almost all the star maps in the city had been brought. After the maps had been carefully verified, the star maps eventually ended up in Master Ashenpine's hands. Holding these star maps, Master Ashenpine went to the inn Wang Lin was in. After catching up, he took out a bag filled with star maps. I heard fellow cultivator Lu was interested in star maps, so I had people gather some. However, there is too much false information, so I don't know how much is accurate. Fellow cultivator Lu needs to carefully examine them. After taking the bag, Wang Lin smiled and clasped his hands. Thank you, fellow cultivator Ashenpine. This has saved me a lot of trouble. After talking for a while, Master Ashenpine looked at Wang Lin and suddenly said, I wonder if fellow cultivator Lu will have any urgent matters to attend to after tomorrow's auction. Wang Lin looked at Master Ashenpine and shook his head. Fellow cultivator Ashenpine, you can just say what you need to say. Master Ashenpine pondered for a bit and said, I know of a secret place, and there may be something there that you would be interested in. As he spoke, he looked at Wang Lin. After finding no change in Wang Lin's expression, he took out a jade and handed it to Wang Lin. Wang Lin accepted the jade. He didn't check it but looked at Master Ashenpine with a smile that wasn't a smile. Master Ashenpine let out a dry cough and said, long story short, I see that fellow cultivator Lu is trading for a lot of origin crystals. If you help me enter that place, I'll gift you 10,000 origin crystals as an reward. Wang Lin calmly swept the jade with his divine sense and his eyes closed. The room was quiet. Master Ashenpine was not anxious and waited for Wang Lin's reply. After a moment, Wang Lin opened his eyes and calmly said, I want 20,000 origin crystals, 10,000 up front. Master Ashenpine hesitated for a moment before he nodded and smiled. Good. To gain the help of someone from the God sect for 20,000 origin crystals is a good value. After tomorrow's auction is over, I'll deliver the origin crystals and we will head out. Master Ashenpine clasped his hands and left. After he left Wang Lin's room, his smile disappeared and he let out a cold snort in his heart. How can the people of the God sect be lacking origin crystals? This person's identity is extremely suspicious. Whether his identity is true or not doesn't matter as long as he behaves. As long as I can enter that place, my cultivation level will climb, and then, Master Ashenpine took a deep breath and suppressed the excitement in his heart. He had been preparing for this for almost 1,000 years. In these 2 short days, the part of the city that was destroyed by Wang Lin's war spirit print was quickly rebuilt by the treasured Jade sect. In just 2 short days, a large amount spirit stones was used and countless cultivators worked on the repairs. The city was restored before the auction arrived. The auction on Peng Lai was very important, and the items being auctioned were all very valuable. The reason so many old monsters would come to Peng Lai was due to this auction. The location of the auction was at the square at the center of the main city of Peng Lai. This wasn't an auction just anyone could enter, only those with an invitation were allowed in. There was a large amount of treasured Jade sect cultivators around this 100,000 feet area preventing outsiders from entering. When the auction was about to begin, all the old monsters from the various sects arrived and entered with their invitation jades. Wang Lin was also a bit interested in the auction. He calmly flew toward the center of the main city. Along the way, all the cultivators that saw him respectfully clasped their hands at him. During these 2 days, almost everyone had memorized Wang Lin's appearance, and no one dared to offend him. It didn't take long for Wang Lin to arrive at the main city. The cultivators of the treasured jade sect could stop anyone without an invitation jade. However, after seeing Wang Lin, their minds trembled and they moved out of the way. They didn't dare to check if Wang Lin had an invitation jade or not. There were almost 100 cultivators scattered across the square. Most of them were Nirvana Scryer or Nirvana Cleanser cultivators. There weren't many Nirvana Shatterer old monsters. Wang Lin's arrival immediately caught the attention of all these cultivators. They all clasped their hands at him and some even went up to chat with him. Wang Lin calmly dealt with them as he looked through the crowd and saw Li Qianmai in the distance. Li Qianmai noticed Wang Lin's gaze and chuckled. Her eyes were as bright as the stars. A moment after Wang Lin entered the auction square, an elder in red entered with a middle-aged man. After seeing Wang Lin, he let out a hearty laugh. "For fellow cultivator Lu to come to my humble auction is the honor of my treasured jade sect." Wang Lin knew this elder in red. He was one of the people that had visited him over the last 2 days representing the treasured jade sect. "So it's Elder Cao." Wang Lin revealed a smile and clasped his hands. The old man in red was very polite. He didn't dare to underestimate this youth in white before him. Every time he thought about how Wu Ching had died, he would tremble. Before he visited Wang Lin on the behalf of the treasured jade sect, he was clearly aware that this person was not normal. That calmness and speech along with the hint of illusion whenever he looked at Wang Lin's eyes were enough to shock him. Later, he reported all of this to the sect master. After pondering for a long time, the sect master sent out a message. No disciple of the sect could offend this person on Peng Lai. Whether he is part of the God sect or not has nothing to do with my treasured jade sect. Just the fact that he was able to kill Wu Ching so easily is enough for him to be respected. The old man in red talked with Wang Lin for a bit before looking up at the sky. He smiled at Wang Lin and said, "Fellow cultivator Lu, the auction is about to start. If you have anything you want to take out to auction, you have to hurry." Wang Lin pondered a bit. He indeed have a few things he wanted to auction to trade for as many origin crystals as possible. After a moment, he smiled. "Might as well. I do have 2 treasures I want to auction." "Oh." Treasures that fellow cultivator Lu is willing to auction can't be normal. The old man in red revealed a hint of interest. Wang Lin didn't speak as he raised his right hand and reached out. A crack to this storage space opened and 2 objects surrounded by black light flew out at the old man in red. The old man's eyes lit up and he looked at Wang Lin. He saw that there were seals on the treasures and therefore didn't check them with his divine sense. He let every cultivator's gaze gather and clearly see the shapes of the treasures before putting them away. Wang Lin looked at the old man in red with a smile that wasn't a smile and clasped his hands. The old man coughed and softly said, "This old man will first send these 2 items to the elder responsible for the auction. Fellow cultivator Lu can rest assured." With that, he clasped his hands and left. That old man is an interesting person. Wang Lin's gaze swept by the old man's back. After the old man in red left, other cultivators came up to talk to Wang Lin. This included the scholar in white and the beautiful woman from Master Ashen Pine's auction. The 3 weren't unfamiliar. After they talked for a moment, the square began to tremble and everyone became quiet. The ground shook even more violently and cracks appeared around the square. 16 huge, stone tablets rose into the air. These 16 stone tablets broke out from the earth and stopped after they were 1,000 feet into the air. Light began to surround the tablets. At the same time, the earth around the 16 tablets continued to tremble and more than 40 smaller tablets flew out from the ground. They stopped when they were 800 feet in the air. This didn't end. After these 40 tablets flew out, more than 100 tablets flew out outside them and stopped 500 feet in the air. These tablets formed a giant formation. This was not the first time a majority of these cultivators had participated in this auction, so they weren't surprised. They all scattered and sat down on the various tablets based on their cultivation levels and status. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he took a step forward. He arrived above one of the 16 stone tablets in front and sat down. No one was surprised he was able to sit there, it seemed quite obvious to everyone. Looking around, all the cultivators that sat on these 16 tablets were Nirvana Shatterer old monsters, and Wang Lin knew most of them. After almost everyone was seated, a charming shadow arrived on Wang Lin's stone tablet. Li Qianmai blinked at Wang Lin and quietly sat down. After sitting down, Li Qianmai whispered as if she was talking to herself, "I'm about to leave." As she was sitting on Wang Lin's side, the wind blew by, causing a few strands of her hair to flutter before Wang Lin. The gentle fragrance from her body clearly entered Wang Lin's nose. The fragrance was very light. Just like Li Qianmei's tranquility, it could calm one's heart. At this moment, the auction began. The person responsible for the auction was an elder of the treasured jade sect with a square face. He floated above the square with the first item. It was a bell-like treasure with a number of fierce beast tattoos carved on it. After noticing her own hair reaching Wang Lin, Li Qianmei's face turned slightly red. She quickly pulled her hair back and casually bundled it up. When Wang Lin didn't look at Li Qianmei but looked at the treasure jade sect elder who was explaining the effect of the treasure. "I'll leave after the auction," Li Qianmei said softly, her eyes looking at the distant sky. No one knew what she was thinking. Wang Lin quietly said, "I'll send you off." At this moment, the bell was sold and the elder of the treasured jade sect took out the second item. It was a pill. Li Qianmei revealed a gentle smile. She turned around and looked at Wang Lin with bright eyes. She softly said, "How will you send me off? Will you just be sending me off from Penglai?" "Okay." Wang Lin nodded and still didn't look at Li Qianmei. Li Qianmei looked at the side of Wang Lin's face. She pondered for a bit and softly said, "Or send me to the rank 9 region." Wang Lin saintly pondered. "Or send me to the demon sect and resist the invasion of the fierce beasts with me." Li Qianmei's voice was beautiful. It was like music that circled Wang Lin's ears. Wang Lin was still silent. Li Qianmei turned around. She looked into the distance and let out a sigh. At this moment, the second item was sold. The elder of the treasured jade sect took out the third item. It was a painting. It had no mountain on it, but the river and lake on it were moving and looked very real. Li Qianmei was silent for a long time and softly said, "I originally wasn't going to leave this early, and there are still a few things I haven't figured out. However, Master sent a summon yesterday. The fierce beasts at the demon sect suddenly increased. All the disciples of the rank 9 sects must rush over to help as soon as possible. I don't know how long I'll be gone this time." Wang Lin slowly said, "Have a safe trip. When you were battling Wu Ching, I didn't act because..." Li Qianmei hesitated but was interrupted by Wang Lin. Wang Lin calmly said, "I understand." Li Qianmei looked at Wang Lin. After a while, she whispered, "Do you really understand?" Wang Lin didn't answer but looked at the painting in the elder's hand as the cultivators offered. After pondering a bit, his voice immediately spread out. "This painting, I'll take it." After he spoke, everyone who was offering stopped. They all looked at Wang Lin and no longer offered. No one dared to compete with Wang Lin. The matter with Wu Ching was known by everyone. The reason Wu Ching had died, aside from his greed, was due to competing with this fiend for a treasure. Wang Lin's right hand reached at the void and took out the scroll from the elder of the treasured jade sect. He opened it, took out a lot, and turned around. This was the first time he had looked at Li Qianmei's beautiful face that could make one's heart race and those tranquil eyes. "A gift to you." Wang Lin handed over the painting. Li Qianmei silently pondered. After a long time, she smiled and took the painting. She stood up biting her lower lip and whispered, "If you find the person who found the jade of the heaven-breaking sect, please pass him this message. The heaven-breaking sect welcomes him." After she finished speaking, she no longer looked at Wang Lin and moved like a dancing butterfly. Her black hair suddenly turned into a stunning blue color and she gradually disappeared before the eyes of the cultivators. She was still holding that painting. Wouldn't it be better to forget about each other? Is it? Wouldn't it be better to forget about each other? Yes. Wang Lin didn't look at Li Qianmei as she left. Wang Lin's heart didn't move for this woman who was also named Li. His heart was dead. It had died during that roar of indignation on the moon. His heart had been torn into pieces the moment Liu Mai took out that resentful soul. Rather than us relying on each other, wouldn't it be better to forget about each other? Two different types of emotions represented two different attitudes toward life and also two different choices. Throughout Wang Lin's life, he had met many women who were more beautiful, more talented, and were better than Li Qianmai in every aspect. Whether it was Red Butterfly, Shi Zifeng, Liu Mai, Mu Bingmai, Lu Yanfei, or just some he had brief encounters with. These women all passed by, but in the end, only Li Muwen and Liu Mai had entered his heart. Wang Lin was not one that understood emotions. The changes early on in his life had made him into a murderous devil, and both of his hands were soaked in blood. Even those self-proclaimed devils couldn't compare to Wang Lin. He didn't understand love. If he ever did, he only had an ignorant understanding of it back when he was a youth and hadn't started cultivating yet. He imagined he would one day pass the test and become an official. He would then return home with a wife by his side. Together they would accompany his parents until they were old. However, after the incident with the Teng family, Wang Lin even died once, and this changed his personality greatly. The sorrow enlightened him. Cultivation. The cultivation world only cared about the strong. Wang Lin didn't know his feelings for Li Muwen at all. After Li Muwen died, he spent over 1,000 years in solitude. He walked through the void alone in a daze, and as he walked down his path toward cultivation, he constantly recalled a feeling. Gradually, as he grew older, he understood. Li Muwen had walked into his heart as he recalled these past 1,000 years. She had entered very deep, very deep. The other woman, Liu Mai, had also walked into Wang Lin's heart, but her path was very different. It was very painful, very painful. In the end, Liu Mai still won. But this victory was her tearing a hold in Wang Lin's dead heart and burying herself inside. Wang Lin's heart died and was torn apart by someone else. He was powerless. It'd be better to forget about each other. Li Qianmei's departure and spreading out her blue hair exposed her identity. In the entire Cloud Sea, she was the only person with blue hair. She didn't have to do this, but she still did. The genius of the rank 9 heaven-breaking sect, Li Qianmei, had sat next to Wang Lin and was also gifted a painting by Wang Lin. This was seen by all the surrounding cultivators. Li Qianmei had used this method to give people the answer to whether or not Wang Lin was a member of the God sect. The auction continued, but the gazes of the surrounding cultivators toward Wang Lin were different. Before, many were not certain of Wang Lin's identity as a member of the God sect. There were doubts hidden in their hearts, but they were well hidden. However, a majority of these doubts were dispelled by Li Qianmei's departure. The next item being auctioned is a mountain rock. The elder in charge of the auction looked at Wang Lin and something appeared in his hand. This was an incomplete mountain stone. It was damaged everywhere and was a mess. It looked very ugly. Looking at the mountain stone, Wang Lin seemed to return back to all the fights he had back in all heaven. The mountain stone had collapsed there as well. Wang Lin could only gather this much and had condensed it. It became an useless treasure in his storage space. 1,000 celestial jades. After a moment of silence, a sound came out from the surrounding cultivators. The scholar in white that knew Wang Lin softly said, 5,000 celestial jade. The Dao spell sect elder sitting on one of the tablets in front calmly said, 10,000 celestial jade. No one else offered for this stone. Aside from a few of the powerful cultivators, most people thought it was worthless. However, earlier, when Wang Lin handed the items to the treasured jade sect, everyone got a good look at what the two treasures were. Everyone knew that this mountain stone belonged to Wang Lin. A mere 10,000 celestial jades to make a friend with Wang Lin was something these cultivators were willing to spend. In the Cloud Sea, 10,000 celestial jades was not a small amount. Wang Lin's expression was neutral as his right hand formed a seal and a restriction flew out toward the mountain stone. It fell on the stone and a ripple echoed before disappearing. An ancient aura suddenly spread out from the mountain stone. This ancient aura contained the trace of time. This immediately caused the surrounding cultivators to become serious. The Nirvana Shatterer cultivators weren't as fazed. But the Nirvana Scryer and Nirvana Cleanser cultivators all stared at the mountain stone and began to ponder. Mountain Soul. The beautiful woman who knew Wang Lin was a bit surprised. She carefully looked at the stone before shaking her head and saying, "Unfortunately, it is broken. This isn't a normal mountain stone, it has celestial spiritual energy. Could this item be a mountain of the celestial realm?" The scholar in white calmly said, 20,000 celestial jade. Although this item is useless for us Nirvana Shatara cultivators, the juniors in the sect can comprehend the spell within. More importantly, it likely came from the celestial realm and was then refined into this. The elder of the Tao spell sect pondered for a moment and then slowly said, 30,000 celestial jade. 40,000 celestial jade. A voice came from the distance. It was Ouyang Long, who was sitting on a stone tablet in the back. The elder of the Tao spell sect said, 1,000 origin crystals. The surroundings were completely silent. No one else tried bidding, and in the end the elder of the Tao spell sect bought it. Although this mountain stone was uncommon, it didn't set off a wave in the auction, it was at most a ripple. However, the shock the next item brought was something not even Wang Lin expected. This treasure is an armor. The elder of the treasured jade sect took a deep breath. There was hint of doubt and excitement in his eyes. He waved his right hand and a blob of black gas appeared. There was the vague shape of a suit of armor inside. The moment this black gas appeared, the expressions of some of the surrounding cultivators changed and they looked closed. This included the old man with a face full of scars, the scholar in white, and company. I ask fellow cultivator Lu to lift the seal so we can get a better look. The old man clasped his hands at Wang Lin and revealed that this item belonged to Wang Lin. Wang Lin paid attention to the old man's expression. After pondering a bit, his right hand pointed at the suit of armor and a restriction flew out at the black gas. The black gas seemed to boil as it violently churned and layers of restrictions dissipated. Finally, all the restrictions disappeared and the black gas was no longer a blur. It quickly contracted into a black suit of armor and gave off a monstrous devilish energy. This devilish energy was so strong that the world changed colors. A giant vortex vaguely appeared in the sky. It was completely black and slowly rotated. The moment the seal on the armor was removed, the surroundings completely quieted down. All the cultivators' eyes opened wide and even the Nirvana Shatara old monsters were startled. Their eyes shined like they never shined before. Some of the cultivators stood up in shock and disbelief filled their eyes. The old man with a face full of scars gasped and muttered, "God sect devil armor. Divine devil armor. It really is the divine devil armor. The divine devil armor that only the God sect possess. The devilish energy from it is extremely dense. It should be a rank 4 divine devil armor." The entire auction began to stir due to the appearance of this suit of armor. The cultivators that could come to this auction were all knowledgeable, were very powerful, and were all mentally strong. However, at this moment, their mental strength collapsed due to this divine devil armor. The elder of the Tao spell sect clasped his hands at Wang Lin and said, "Fellow cultivator Lu, do you really want to sell this?" After he spoke, the surroundings immediately became quiet. Everyone's gazes gathered on Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he looked at the scattered devil armor. He didn't think that even this armor would be unexpectedly related to the God sect. A strong interest toward the Cloud Seas God sect appeared in Wang Lin's heart. Wang Lin calmly said, "I only want origin crystals." "Good. I'm willing to take out 3,000 origin crystals to buy this," the elder of the Tao spell sect said with a decisive tone. "This woman offers 5,000 origin crystals." The old woman who traded Wang Lin the star map looked at the armor with a mysterious gaze in her eyes as she made the offer. The scholar in white took a deep breath and said, "I believe all of you want to buy this to study the God sect spells. Only God sect members own something like this, and they rarely leak out. I must obtain this. I offer 8,000 origin crystals." The Tao spell sect elder hesitated for a bit and clenched his teeth. 10,000 origin crystals. The Tao spell sect didn't have that many origin crystals, 10,000 was already his limit. The moment this price came out, the surrounding cultivators all gasped. This level of auction was not something most people could participate in. Just at this moment, an eccentric voice echoed. Rank 7 Miles Luo sect offers 13,000 origin crystals. The surrounding cultivators all looked over. It was a youth in yellow holding a fan in his hand who had shouted the offer. The elder of the Dao spell sect stared at the armor and let out a sigh. He stopped bidding. The rest all became silent. This was their limit. They didn't have that many origin crystals. 15,000 origin crystals. Ouyang Long's voice echoed, and there was a hint of trembling within it. Even for him, this price made his mind tremble. The youth in yellow frowned and said, 18,000 origin crystals. 20,000 origin crystals. Ouyang Long clenched his teeth. 25,000 origin crystals. There was a flash of coldness in the eyes of the youth in yellow. 30,000 origin crystals. Sweat appeared on Ouyang Long's forehead. You're merely from the rank 5 treasured jade sect. Where did you get so many origin crystals? The young man in yellow stood up and stared at Ouyang Long. There was a flash of killing intent in his eyes, but he recognized Ouyang Long's identity. This video will end here.